Welcome back everyone to another playthrough, and today we've got one of our absolute classics.
Childhood classic, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely childhood classic.
Yeah.
Today, Double Dragon 2 for the
Commodore 64.
Commodore 64.
Not the NES version, not the Mega Drive, not the arcade, the Commodore 64. Now you may laugh, but you won't after 5 minutes of playing Double Dragon 2.
You might laugh hard.
You might laugh a bit, but this is, with this, anyone who played Double Dragon 1 on the Commodore knows what a travesty that turned out to be. Now this was by the same people, although not the exact same team I think, but binary design again. And it plays nothing like the arcade version at all, but then I don't have a problem with that, and you'll probably see why when you see who's actually get into this and basically start playing what might actually be the best beat 'em up on the C64. I am going to say the C64 because there's Target Renegade on the Spectrum and the Amstrad, and that's might beat them depending, which I think we should be doing at one day.
Yeah,
we might get into them, but great game, I've got to say, like classic.
1989, Glenn.
1989, yes, fine year.
25 years ago.
Now, it's not as good as the NES version. I had this little debate the other day, and
Not many games are.
maybe not known. It's almost its own beast as well in some ways, as far as the feel and the move set goes. As Double Dragon 2 on the NES was, but for what this was, and if you pick this up for $2.99 when it was a budget version, I think you'd have had a wheel of a time. And it's quite hard as well. It can be quite a tricky game.
It's tough, and we are. Just to be transparent with you guys, we're cheating our arses off today.
We're putting lives on, so we can have fun. There's some parts where you will get the shit kicked out of you, and there's some parts where the time limit is very tight, which it was in the arcade as well, and on several other versions, so, it's quite accurate in some ways. Just about every enemy's in there, with the exception of Jeff, which was something nearly all the versions of Double Dragon 1 and 2 on the various home computers also skipped. So it's a pretty complete game, it just feels so different, But
Should we get into it, mate?
Yeah, let's move.
Otherwise we'll talk all day. Let's do it. Right, hold on. So, F1.
And I have to press fire, didn't I?
And let's go, Glenn.
Let's move. Billy and Jimmy pursue the killers of Billy's girlfriend Mario.
Why do you think there's only like a small portion of the screen? Do you reckon the Commodore 64 couldn't handle it?
I wonder if if instead of shooting her in this one, he chopped her or not. I don't know. I'm not sure why. But anyway, this is Double Dragon 2 Commodore 64. Now you might have noticed that the graphics are not that hot, which is fine because. And to be fair, I thought the sprite work and the backgrounds on the first game looked better on C64, but.
Anyone who's cleaner, they were in like a high-res mode, weren't they?
Yeah, it did look almost like an American-made game, This has got that European look about it, but as far as anyway, being a complete game, there's so much content here. It misses two of the weapons. It's missing the shovel, which is your favourite. I think.
It is actually, yeah.
And it's missing the power ball, which is like a big metal crane ball that was on level 2.
Who needs that shit when you've got the mace?
Exactly, you've got the mace. And yeah, this one now, just like you do with the. It does more damage when you turn away from them and whacks them straight in the face. The damage system's a little bit messed up in this version. You hit an enemy about 3 times and they'll fall over, no matter what. But like most weapons will just do like 1 hit of damage, so it's actually more. It's quicker to say. I'd notice I'm turning away from them. It's quicker to actually just whack the shit out of them with your hands and feet.
The other notable omission here, Glenn, is that you don't have the back kick like you do on Double Dragon 2 in the arcade.
Well, this is something else about the move list of the move set of all the computer versions of Double Dragon 2. I'm not going to go into the console or Game Boy versions or Mega Drive just to overcomplicate, because the computer versions were all done by binary design, I believe, from Virgin Mastertronic.
Yeah.
And every version, as you've just said there, had a slightly different move set. Now, Double Dragon 1, nearly every version made a conscious effort to have all the original moves of the arcade, with the exception being the C64 version, which fucked it up completely. Like the head grab kick now. The knife works as well.
The most important thing, the measure of a good Double Dragon game, can you climb the ladders?
And you can, it even looks right, and you can get up the top. Now, and again, Double Dragon 1, nearly everything was non-interactable, with the exception of the wall at the end of level 3B, like, the part of invade the enemy's base and that.
Yeah.
That worked because they had no choice, so you'd been stuck otherwise. But as you just said though, yeah, you've got a front kick now, which is funny enough, quite a few of the home versions on the computers have the front kick instead. Spectrum and Amstrad and well, Amstrad cassette and disc, which is something we'll go into shortly.
Do you reckon he's missing half his face there, or is he?
Billy and Jimmy, or
low bar. Look when he stands up.
Well, again, I think
has he got an eye patch on?
He's got an eye patch. He's got an eye patch. He's meant to have an eye patch, isn't he?
He is, yeah, but it looks just.
I think they've done the best they could with
the low
sort
resolution.
Of like fake eye.
But then look at the helicopter. The helicopter's tremendous. It like makes the NES version like look shit. Well, maybe not.
The NES version, the helicopters aren't in level 1, like in this level.
So these helicopters look better than NES helicopters.
The heliport and the heliport level 2 has a helicopter that's like almost sort of a boss in it, because you fight the ninjas come out with her. But they said the move set on this version, you've got your punch, a front kick now, you've got elbow, which is okay, but like it's the only back attack you've got, which I'm using there. You've got a whirlwind kick, which is class because most of the computer versions either don't have that or they fuck it up completely, and this one at least. And it hits multiple times, so standing enemies like bosses who don't fall over after just like a knockdown hit, like from a jump kick or so, it does more damage. You've got a jump kick as I'm using, although it looks a bit lame, but it does work. And you've got also another great move, which is the forward spin kick, which actually looks kind of cool. Do you reckon?
It's useful as well.
It is. Like the moveset is useful in this game, you know. You do find yourself not just sort of like using one attack. You want to be using your whirlwind kick where possible for the bosses, which would have worked in the arcade, although for a different reason on this version. And here is the first boss, which is a big
Mr.
lump of shit. What
the hell? It's a giant poo.
I think it's meant to be Burnov, but again, Burnov, if it's Burnov.
Is that what you call it? Turd.
Fuck, I know.
Burnov. I burned my arse.
He's very brown. You know.
God bless the Commodore's colour.
But he puts up a fight though and all. I mean, it's quite a good boss, you know. This like the Specky version of Burnov like takes one sort of whirlwind kick and he's dead. It's crazy, but he's got like a punch, I think, but he's also got a instead of his like sort of grab and punch attack from the arcade, he picks you up and necks on with you or something, doesn't he? Let him
I think
do
he
his
molests you. Yeah, he's molesting us.
What's he? I mean,
he's punched us in the chest.
Is he shaking you by the neck or what? Or is he kissing you?
I think he's doing Homer Simpson, you know. Boy!
It might sound like we're dissing Double Dragon 2 and the Commodore 64, but we really do love this game.
It's we're allowed to take the piss out of it now.
Yeah, you've got to a little bit, but it is a great game.
It is fantastic.
Watching get you hit you something by doing that. But you've even got the like intermissions between the levels. There's sampled speech on some parts as well, which is excellent. Well, it's not excellent, but it's there, and it's like a good effort, you know.
If you have to forgive us, should we skip the loading times, or
I think we should leave them on. Talk through them because we can introduce the level a little bit. There's some new music which we're going to get into, which you're going to hear just now.
Elevator music in.
You can put the Double Dragon 2 arcade intermissions on.
Oh, could I? Yeah.
Yeah, and the soundtracks on YouTube.
I could literally put some elevator music in there.
You could, because there's an elevator. I would actually.
Yeah.
But this level has a new tune as well, which is not in the arcade, courtesy of Dave Lowe, Uncle Art, who did some amazing Commodore stuff. He, just like the other greats, you know, like Martin Galway and Rob Hubbard and that, you know, Jonathan Dunn. They've all got a very distinctive sound, and Dave Lowe, Uncle Art, has as well. And the soundtrack I thought was excellent for this. And this tune isn't in the arcade version, so. But we've got our first rumble with the Bobo, and he can pick you up, throw you, and everything. So, you know, he's quite handy, like. Not when he's getting the shit kicked out on both sides.
He looks like a Native American when he falls down on his side.
I'm not sure what he looks like.
He's got like a feather stick head.
I don't know if it's like one of the Guns N' Roses or something.
I've never seen one of the Guns N' Roses look like that. Unless you mean like Slash without his top hat, maybe.
I would say so. I
don't think I've ever seen him wear shit brown trousers as well.
They love brown in here. Like I say, I mean the graphics is not as good as say the first game, but they're functional, and I mean you know, the play's great. It is better if you're playing properly. You know, it's better just to like hit the enemy once and move away, and which was something you had to do in the first one actually on Commodore. Yeah, we'll see the grenades as well, which do actually explode and do what they're meant to do and all that. So, I mean, boom! It's debatable how useful they actually are, but it's nice that they're actually in the game. I'll just discuss a few of the versions actually, because it is worth talking about. Now, I previously mentioned the Spectrum. It's fast. It's fast. I mean, Double Dragon 1, the Spectrum was not fast. but it did have a lot of the content, and personally I don't think it's a bad game. And 2's not either in its way, but it loses some stuff, and there's 2 distinct Spectrum versions.
Full of one of those things that loses.
Full of being the biggest probably are. There's a 48K version, which is only about 40% of the arcade game. It misses all of the enemies except Williams, Roper, Linda and Willie. Did you know that?
It misses Willie.
No, Willie's in it, so it misses everybody else. So you've got no Jeff. Good luck with Jeff, but you're missing all the other bosses. I mean, including like Eivor and Bernov and Shintai, which I'll get to in a sec as well. It's too short to be a considered proper game. Now there's Spectrum 1 to 8K version has pretty much the full game from the arcade version, like all the levels, which look quite good actually, even on the black and white. We're going to keep this,
Why not?
And but it loses several of the enemies. I mean, you've now got Bernov and Eivor back, but you don't have Shintai here, who is the guy with the sticks and that, who is in this version, and you don't have the Abobos or O'Hara, who's the guy who doesn't have a beard, the big guy. No Jeff.
Can he not jump up here?
I don't think he can get up now. As I said, it's a faster game, but it just loses so much. It does have all 7 weapons, or whether they're functional. But the move set is just bizarre. You can do cartwheels now, on the Spectrum version.
I remember that.
Yeah, you can do cartwheels. It's quite easy to do, but you need a keyboard to do it. You can't do it with the joystick. You press all 4 directions.
God bless emulation, you just map a key to it.
The enemies look like Rocky and Bullwinkle for some reason, which is looking out like
right.
what they should look like.
Down there?
Eivor, Willie, well, Willie's not that tall anyway, but Eivor and Bernov were like big guys, exactly the same as everybody else. Everybody's got the same energy, which is bizarre. So they take either like 4 punches, or 4 back kicks, which you've now got, or like 4. Is it 4?
Oh,
some versions only take 1. Oh, I died. So,
no,
was it me? Oh. They take 1 whirlwind kick to die, like what everybody, and I'm off the cliff. Everybody, we never did that in the original game.
They were too careful because they only had a limited amount of lives.
That's enough of the Speccy version anyway. Amstrad 2 versions again, 2 very different versions. There's a 664, 464 version, which tape only is based on the 48K Spectrum version. It loses nearly everything. And again, enemies don't have much health. It can be completed in about 5 minutes. It's mental. I think we should show it one day, just because there's not that many videos on YouTube.
Or a compilation of bad games.
But, definitely. It's mainly because if you bought that full price, and seeing the content there, especially when you consider if you've got a disc drive of one of the more powerful Amstrads, you can have the disc version, which is based on the 16-bit versions, and it's excellent. It's really excellent. It doesn't have many moves. It's actually got only about 4 different moves in the game, but it keeps all the weapons and all the enemy types except Jeff, which is, in fact, Jeff might actually be in it. So it's pretty good, like good graphics and all.
It's not as good as the Amiga version.
Oh, the Amiga's got great music and all, though. I mean, it's got its own 2 unique tunes.
Introduction themes.
Oh, it's great. Well, the in-game music is the same as what's on the Spectrum title screen, and that's good and all. But again, it's.
Oh.
There he comes up there.
Guess what colour he's wearing?
Oh, it's his favourite colour. But look at his head, look at the size of it. It's like he's got that Elephant Man thing going on. But
oh, jeez.
You need to be aware that this is the one and only time you meet him in the game. He doesn't turn up on the last level. He's not there.
You must kill him for real. Where's his legs go when he falls over?
I think they'd go into his torso or something. I'm not sure.
So, I mean, what, like your testicles when it's cold?
Notice there's no conveyor belt in this one, another.
Oh shit! I've just realised.
I think you can get up the boxes though. I mean, he came down. I couldn't remember him coming down up the boxes.
I need to try.
Oh, he's out.
Oh,
right.
I don't think you can.
Sample speech.
Big boobs.
What's he actually say? Big boobs.
Big boobs.
We used to say it's let's move, but that doesn't sound like that at all. But anyway, Amiga version, great game. Does lose a couple of the more iconic moves though. I mean, you can't do the knee smash.
Yeah, that's
and you
true.
can't do the whirlwind kick of all things, but it's got just about everything else and it feels great. Does lose a couple of weapons again, so you lose the power ball and you lose the log, but it's like good and it feels good, doesn't it? And it sounds great.
Well.
That's it. It moves pretty quick. Probably you get trapped against the side of the screen.
Aye.
Yeah, it's the scrolling's a bit slow. That's Final Fight does that as well. Amiga Final Fight made by Richard Applin. who done those conversions, including Double Dragon 1.
Strange thing, isn't it? That it's
it's
that's on both games.
Aye, like they used a similar system, similar engine,
engine or something. Yeah.
But where Final Fight doesn't feel very much like the arcade version, the Amiga one we're talking about still, Double Dragon 2 does. DD1, I've got my own love for that version for some reason. It's like a jank love, you know. It was that a thing, but. It plays nothing like DD1 on Amiga plays nothing like the arcade game, but it's got a lot of charm, I think, like just because it's so stupid looking. Do you know what I mean?
Well, speaking of stupid looking, you talked about the size of
his hair.
Airball's head.
That's not Airball. That's
no, you talked about the size.
Oh, aye.
The size of this guy's head.
Well, isn't that she's got like Elvis hair going on and that like?
Well, the hair doesn't help. It certainly adds about 5 inches to his height. But
it's good that he's there though. Like I said, if you were playing the Specky or the Amstrad tape version, you wouldn't have even had him. Another version I want to talk about is the Atari ST because it's different enough from the Amiga. It's not the Amiga is not an Atari ST port, which is excellent. In fact, in some ways, the Atari ST is slightly more accurate than the Amiga. The sound isn't as good. Music isn't as good. It uses sampled snips of the arcade, which Double Dragon 1 on the Amiga and ST did, and it's done quite poorly. So it's
the music,
it
was like really
you don't hear it during the game, mate. It's just for the on the level's end. It'll play a little bit of one of the level tunes, like a boss music and that or something.
I remember that.
It's good that they try, but it'd be nice to have an in-game tune. But it's the sound effects, the screams are there, but they're not as good as the Amiga. So there is some screams for the enemies, which is sampled from the arcade game, and some sample from reused from Double Dragon 1, including the sound effects, like the punch sound effect. So it doesn't sound anywhere near as good as the Amiga, but it's got 6 weapons. You've got the Powerball now, which the Amiga doesn't for some reason. And some of the levels are a bit more interactive, would you believe? There's little bits that are missing from the Amiga that the Atari ST has, which graphics are slightly different. So if you like playing computer versions of more superior arcade games, give it a shot as well. Last one is the PC, which you've got a lot of memories of.
I've tried for so long to complete that game. It's damn tough.
Mark, I did it with a cheat, and it's fucking solid, honest. Like Burnov, I remember you saying that back then, Burnov is just the bane of everybody's existence. He picks you up and literally doesn't let you go. Picks you up once you're dead.
You.
Yeah, he just wastes your full energy bar. Other than that, the game would be sort of like workable. It's a playable game. It looks excellent as well. It's the best looking version of the one. It looks just like the arcade and everything. But the engine is just absolutely messed up. I read a manual for it, and there's no whirl and kick again. I mean, just going quickly back to the ST version. The ST's got the same moves as the Amiga, except the forward spin kick has no collision detection. Doesn't work. Right. A few of the enemies' moves do, and also you've got one less move on the ST. I know. But the PC, it reworks the move set again. And you've now got a forward kick, if I remember right, but it's based on the back kick, part of the back kick animation. It's weird. So you can press forward and kick.
Yeah, doesn't he just turn around and do a back kick, if I remember?
I think that's right. I could be thinking about the Amstrad disc version though, because that does a similar thing where pressing forward and kick will do a forward kick, but they've used. But this is just redrawn, you know. But the PC anyway, it even tells you how to do the whirlwind kick, and it's just like it's basically they've took the jumping back kick from Double Dragon 1. They've took the frames for that of the looks of it, and you're told to just press up and fire and wiggle the left and right buttons, which I thought was quite comical. But
yeah, aye, it is.
It just that's its version of the whirlwind kick, which is like
it's absolutely hopeless.
It's ridiculous. But it does have a version of the knee smash, except for some reason there's no animation for the knee smash. So if you remember, you punch them, your arm goes like that, and you've got hold of them. He's ducked down on the ground, but you can throw them, but he just sort of like lands behind you. It's like
his knee like lifts up.
It's like I don't know why they bothered. But it's got all the weapons, if I remember right, and it's got all the enemies, including Jeff, in there. So, something that the Spectrum, or both Spectrum and the Amstrad tape versions are missing is the last boss. Kill Willy. There's no fight with the evil twins, like the double illusion, as the NES calls them, or Bimmy and Jimmy, as I call them.
Bimmy and Jimmy.
Basically, it is, isn't it? In this version, it is.
Bimmy and Jammy.
Bimmy and Jammy, aye, that's the one.
Oh, they're getting that.
But,
2 successful shots.
On the whole, I would say, and you'd probably agree, that most of the computer versions of Double Dragon 2 are better than what was released for Double Dragon 1.
Double Dragon 1, yeah.
I mean, 1 is... The Spectrum version is good for what it is, and the Amstrad version, like the Amstrad tape version, is a colour version of that, but slower. So it's still more playable than the C64, but it's not a playable game. And it also misses a couple of levels. It does, to a lesser degree, what Double Dragon 2 on the tape version does now, which is crazy. It loses like half of level 3 and half of the last level, if I remember right, and it's like, why? And again, there's a disc version, which is based on the 16-bit versions of the game, and it's pretty excellent, like an 8 out of 10 at least.
Right.
Just like Double Dragon 2 on the Amstrad. So if you had a disc machine, you'd get like a canny, decent version for an 8-bit computer. Like, bear in mind, you've got all the moves, so you can throw enemies all over the place. All 7 weapons are there. Jeff's in there, you know, all the enemies and the bosses and that. You fight 2 Jeffs, I think. Oh no, there's a Bobos at the end of level 2, man. Which is quite cool, because, like, you know, like, they're not there in the arcade, so...
Yeah.
There is another version of Double Dragon I'm going to just quickly talk about, but only for a second, and you know this one as well.
Zeebo?
No, I'm sticking with computer versions,
right,
mate.
so, yeah.
And it is the Double Dragon 1 cartridge version for C64, which is
I didn't like
better. It's slightly better. I mean, it feels better, but it loses so much from the arcade game, and it feels so different. I mean, a Bobo's in there, and now he's got shades for some reason, so is he meant to be a bald A-ball? I don't know. Obviously, this came out quite late. It's about 1991 or 92.
Yeah, who's it? Ocean or something?
Ocean, it's meant to be rare as fuck, mate, the cartridge. I don't even know if there's anyone's got a box version, so it'd be nice if someone can confirm that.
I played it via emulation, like.
Well, Willie's not in it. The last boss is a Bobo. Or it might not be a Bobo, it might just be another, like, Williams. Seriously, Willie's not in it.
Well, I suppose Willie's short for Williams, so maybe that too was meant to be all
But they give him a gun. Even if it didn't fire like this normal Commodore 64 version.
Yeah, it's just for sure.
But I'm trying to think of who's actually in it. So you've got 2 different colours of, like, Williams. So, like, technically sort of like Williams and Roper, which is what the computer versions normally did of Double Dragon 1. And you've got a Bobo, and I'm trying to think if Linda's in there, and I don't think she is. I think there's 3 enemies, which is shit. Because obviously a Bobo doesn't come all the time anyway, because he's more of a boss. Or a mid-boss, so you're just fighting the same enemy over and over again. Why would they bother? Why would they bother? I mean, the C64 version was there. Double Dragon 3 was out by then on the computer versions. It's like, well, if you like that or not. And to be fair to Double Dragon 3, it's kind of accurate, which, again, depending on if you like the arcade game or not, that's a good or bad thing.
Exactly,
Mark loves it, don't you?
Yeah, it's my worst game ever.
So, it's actually better. You consider it worse than Road Wars?
Oh, no, Road Wars is much
even worse.
Worse.
I love that word, worse.
Oh, got you, sorry. So.
But back to this version, anyway, you'll see that a lot of the interactive elements are there as well. We've just been past the the combine harvester, which is nice that it's in there. Try to think if any computer versions don't have it. The Amstrad tape version and MSX, which I forgot to mention, there's an MSX version, which is based on the Spectrum.
Never played that one.
It's based on the Spectrum 48, mate, with a little bit more colour, as in the health bars have colour now, which is very nice. But it's based on the 48K Spectrum.
Well, the Spectrum version plays well, doesn't it?
I would say it does. It plays very well. It's fast. Again, it's just completely different from the arcade game. It couldn't be more different. It's probably the most diverse version, to be honest. Like, where this is close, but it's got so much of the content. Where the Speccy, I mean, both versions play quite similar, except obviously the 1 to 8 has more levels and content. Also, the 48K version, and by extension, the Amstrad tape and MSX only have 3 weapons. You've only got the chain whip, you've got the knife, and I believe the box. Yeah, I think that's it. Everything else is missing. But the 1 to 8K Spectrum version does have all 7 weapons, which is nice.
I think I've only ever played maybe the 48K. Are both black and white?
Yeah. I wouldn't mind going through even doing them both in one sitting, because you
try.
It's short. Even Double Dragon 2 will take about 15 minutes to complete.
I did promise on the last playthrough that we would be looking to be a bit more diverse.
Yeah. Look, honestly, Mark, I still want to do Double Dragon 1 C64 just to see who've done it, even if it ends up being a shit game or something. But we had Double Dragon 1 before 2. I remember looking for it in the shop and only 1 was there, and I hadn't played it before. And the screenshots on the back of the box were from the Amiga. It was the Mastertronics version, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Like the budget version. And when we played it, it was like, where's all the moves and stuff, and where's everything? I mean, the backgrounds are good. Backgrounds are very good on Double Dragon 1. And we're like, where's all the weapons? It's like, where's the Bobo? Where's the Bobo on level 1?
What do you mean it didn't show you the back of the arcade version? Arcade version was that was a tactic.
You wouldn't get away with that now, though, would you? You could not get away with it all over the internet. I mean, I was looking at a few other like games from the 80s and the 90s, or where on the back of the box it will say, oh, you get this and you get that and everything, and it's like they don't even bother to put on this version. It'll be like say for instance you've got the Commodore version, but they'll tell you about the bullet points from the Amiga, and some of that stuff will be missing from the version you've gotten. There'd be lawsuits now, you know what I mean?
Damn right.
There'd be studios will be shutting down, and that's like, it's amazing how times have changed. I mean, one of the most legendary games obviously is it's my sort of like my game, and that's Rise of the Robots, isn't it? That's legendary for what went on there.
It's not the worst game in the world.
No, the game isn't. I've got a lot of love for it for strange and weird reasons, but the stuff that's on the back of the box on that, you know, and it's top of AI and the top of.
Well, all it did was basically they did a 1990s Peter Molyneux.
Oh, definitely.
This is going to be much better. Well, it's going to do this, it's going to do that, and then it turns.
I've always said though, man, whether you liked it or not, or not necessarily the game, but the marketing, it was clever. You know, it came at a time where people were.
It was amazing.
I mean,
where's this next one?
To be honest, the PC version looks fantastic. I think it looks really SVGA. You know, it just looks nice. I mean, there's not he comes back to life and all, which is clever because. Not many of the versions actually have him do this, and it's only this part. Oh, he doesn't do it on the last level for some reason. Can I go?
So when just observing it, when he falls over, is he tucking his legs in and putting his thumb?
It looks like he does get crippled or something, doesn't he?
I think he's tucking his thumb. Look, when he falls over.
It's definitely a frame of animation that wasn't in the arcade version. Like,
I'm going to have to pause it and zoom in on him and have a look.
Make it, yeah, I made it.
I think he's been a baby.
It's almost like a fetal position thing, isn't it?
Yes, fetal position, that's the word I was looking for.
Now, here's the biggest change in this version. There is a piece missing. There is a level missing from the Commodore 64 version, sadly, but I never really had a problem with it because I like how they sort of seamlessly integrate. I love using big words. They seamlessly integrate the last level, the end of level 3 into the start of the next level. Which is not something that you see in the arcade or any other version of all. I don't know why they missed it.
I don't remember this.
You will when you say surprise. Again, you're going to get a new tune as well, which is not in the arcade version. I'll explain as we start. I love talking.
I think it's always a mistake to leave the loading sections in.
I suppose you can still cut them, can't you?
I can cut them out, but then you'll miss all of the talking that we did in between.
I'd keep them in, mate. They're not that long.
Oh.
Sample sound.
Oh, was I?
And this is actually the start of the last level normally in the arcade. So it's actually missed out the invade the enemy base section. But like I say, if you hadn't played the arcade version, you wouldn't know because the lift takes you straight onto this bit. So this is technically level 4, and level 5 is technically just the second half of level 5. But to be fair to the game, it throws tons of enemies at you, and they're all hard now. They take a lot of damage as well. So these last 2 levels are long.
I remember the track, Glenn. After 25 years, I still remember the
music. Great, man. It's great atmospheric. That sounds like it. They should remake it and use it in like in a more modern Double Dragon.
Well, saying that, I was going to say I'm looking for a new inspiration for a song for a playthrough intro, but yeah, I'll have already done that by the time you watch this, I think.
Now, the other thing is, you can't actually knock enemies off the cliff, the edges. The will stay near the edge, but in certain areas you can make them fall off, which is something you couldn't do on Double Dragon 1, the Commodore. It was one of the funnest parts of the arcade game, and even the Speccy version you can do it, you know.
There's another one. I just killed him. His identical twin brother killed him.
What's happened here, because obviously we didn't play the invade the enemy base section, is Shintai is not a boss now. He's just a regular enemy. Well, regular enemy still. They put up as much of a fight as these, didn't they? They're still hard. They jump all over the place.
I don't remember. Actually, it's been too long.
Pretty cool. Couldn't remember?
No, I don't remember. It's been so long. I struggled to remember what I was doing last week. Never mind 25 years ago.
Oh, I still remember this like the back of my hand.
I remember the music and that, but I don't remember what Shintai's like the fight. or what's it called? Shintai Me, isn't it?
I know, and this what we used to call. We thought that was Jeff, didn't we? For years, because we thought. I was looking at the computer game manual, and it's got a picture of like a character called Shintai, who's exclusive to the NES version of DD1, and obviously some versions of DD2. Yeah, the guy with the sticks. He's more like a sort of long-haired Bruce Lee, isn't he?
Yeah. Aye.
Where Jeff is like a head swap of the players, and they do fight kind of differently. In fact, Shintai's got his own moves. He's got like different moves.
Yeah.
He's got a different set of punches and kicks and that, So he's not the same character at all.
I know you're struggling with him. Oh, he took us.
Need help?
There you go.
Oh, he's dead a bit. Oh, sorry.
Head.
Oh, yeah. Well, we've already got one. An idea for one.
Oh, I remember him. He had a comically oversized head like everybody else who's
except
tall.
different from A-balls, though. It's more wide than like a big potato.
It's like a pumpkin.
Hey, you won't be laughing at them. Look, he goes short when he falls over as well.
He does, he shrinks.
But they put up a canny fight, and they've got like most of the moves from the arcade with the leaping attack and obviously sticks, and I think they do the spinny kick thing as well. So, like I say, even though it plays nothing like the arcade, I would have said most people, if you'd bought this version, you would be quite happy to play this than after what you'd played on the original C64, like so.
No, honestly, compared to like DD1, this is amazing. It's a really, really good like.
DD1 just there was an apology in the manual, There's an apology in the back of the manual. Do you know that?
No.
And the reason they gave, I think, is just like again, it's just misdirection. It's almost rude. I mean, they're saying they're blaming the Commodore for their game, so they're saying, "Oh,
dare you look at this."
In fact, they don't apologise for the full game. They apologise for the thing that I never really thought out of anyway. It's the fact that the sprites are all cut in two.
Oh yeah.
They've got a gap at the waist, and this is we had to make the enemies, like the characters and the enemies, into two separate sprites because the Commodore's architecture wouldn't allow us to do anything differently. But there's no sprite gaps in these guys.
Yeah,
so.
but if you look at Double Dragon, it looks a lot cleaner. It's like they've used like a high res mode.
And that's where it must have come from. That's where it must. But I mean, I don't know would it have been. Is that also why it plays like it does as well? Maybe because there just wasn't enough power left to. I mean, you've got.
I mean, you probably just couldn't like get weapons, like other weapons in and stuff anymore.
But it loses so much. So I mean, as far as moves go, right now, if you look at the manual, it looks like pretty much all the moves are there. But you have no jump kick. You can jump to get up like platform stuff. But you don't have a jump kick. That's like nearly every move is basically the same. So you've got like a punch, you've got a kick, you've got a turn, you've got the whirlwind kick, which would have been the jumping back kick from the arcade or Specky or whatever. That's not in there. You've got like what happens is you turn around and kick, and it's got no collision detection. So it doesn't work.
It doesn't.
It doesn't work. No matter what you do, it does not work. It's good. We've got the traps in it game, which I'll get to in a sec as well. Even the power ball. Why can you not? That makes us wonder why the power ball isn't there to pick up when they're clearly there. So I'm surprised. But anyway, so you've got elbow. You've got what the game describes as a hair grab kick, which is a travesty, and I'll get that in a second. Elbow works.
Yeah. So that's move sets for Double Dragon 1.
Yeah, it's lousy. Did you notice there? No, by the way, the only thing that was missing from that section is the bricks don't come out.
Yeah.
You've still got the power balls and you've still got the spear come, which I thought was pretty close to arcade. We're talking about the hair grab kick of the first double. It's called the hair grab kick in the boot. I think that's a stupid name. You wouldn't go, I'm going to go from
hair grab kick. Wait, but then again, these are the same people who had the upside down headbutt, whatever it was.
Technically not. Really wasn't though. Upside down headbutt. Well, wasn't that like the one-armed headbutt? Which to me, a one-armed headbutt is not a headbutt because a headbutt would be a one-headed headbutt, and not a one-armed. Why would you? I don't know. But that was Double Dragon 3 anyway.
It was Double Dragon
Japanese
3.
actually.
For anybody who clicked on there,
the Genesis manual of Double Dragon 3, the American Mega Drive. But in Double Dragon 1, I mean, you've got as I've already said, you've got last level by the way.
Polo.
Oh, lovely! Cheers. Thank you very much. You've got.
Look, boo!
Yeah, you did again this time. You've got no flying kick, as I've already said. You've got a weird sort of turn kick, which doesn't work. I mean, it literally doesn't work. It has no collision detection.
It's two turns.
Elbow does work, but it's no longer like the powerhouse that it was in the arcade version, which probably is a good thing. You have a headbutt, which not a one-armed headbutt either, just a headbutt. Right? Press down and fire for that, and that does what you expect it to do.
I'm sick of talking about all these computers. When we're going to address the Atari 2600 version?
I think we'll have a quick chat. I think we should play it, mate.
I can't play it. I'm trying. I can't
get
get past the
respectable
first.
78,000 version, 100 version, which actually is not too
I
shabby.
think I've
Like,
played that one, yeah.
I mean, but the Atari, I'll get that in a sec. I'm still on a roll here when it comes to one-armed headbutts and hair grab kicks.
You still got no fucking.
Do you know how to do a hair grab kick on Double Dragon on the C64 Marks? You know the secret technique?
You
know
can't.
You do. You press down.
Oh, you just lift
fire,
your knee at him, don't you?
and you just lift your knee out. So you can't throw anybody.
It's like he's cocking his leg for a fart.
You literally just do that, and like that's it. So every single move does exactly the same thing and the exact same damage, just with a different frame.
And the same noise. Boom.
There's two weapons in the game. There's a whip and there's a baseball bat, which is great, but they do exactly the same thing, and thankfully they do hit twice though. So you wiggle it at somebody, you get 2 hits instead of 1. So, and do you know what it is? You would want them anyway, because thankfully you don't get a choice whether to pick them up or not. Yeah, knock an enemy down and
you get it automatically,
the whips in your hands. Yeah, it's like magic. But like I say, if you had the choice of using the weapons or not using the weapons, it's just there's no choice. You know, it's even other versions of Double Dragon, like the arcade, have some weapons that are not as good as others.
You knocked me down with.
But in the case of the Commodore, no. Anyway, you really want to talk about the Atari version?
I do.
It's worse than
I think it needs to be addressed.
Version. It's worse, right? You can't move out of your sort of zone. Billy and Jimmy have got their own sort of row, and they have to stay on it. So if there's one enemy and he's in your row, I can't fight him.
Yes.
And you have about 3 moves. A Bobo's in it, and he just looks like a lump of mobile snot.
Does he look like Mr. Hanky?
He is Mr. Hanky this time round, because I think he doesn't have any other colour but brown.
I remember what he looks like. I literally played the Atari 2600 version about a month
Market's
ago.
got music. And,
I know.
It's music in the barest sense of the word. Put it this way, it's a conversion that should never happen. I don't know why they've tried to do that.
It's got boops and beeps.
Did
Actually,
you know?
It might just be boops.
Did you know Pit Fighter's got a conversion for the 7800? And I think it's a joke. I think some people have said it's a prototype, but bear in mind this is the 7800. But I still wouldn't really say it'll do a great version.
I don't know. The 7800 was like NES.
It's sort of, but still though, Pit Fighter though. I mean, personally, I like the Master System version of Pit Fighter. I do, because it lets you play as the enemies and that, and it's actually kind of playable. But
it's got shiny spots.
It doesn't do. You know, I mean, the size of the sprites and that, where the sprites in the arcade game were like one of the main draws. You know.
Yeah, of course.
So.
But even the Mega Drive one dials it back.
But they look like though. They look correct,
just
everyone
like
looked the way they should, you know. And of course it feels nice, you know. So I think you give that a bit of a free pass. Funny enough, you know, some of the conversion to Pit Fighter, like the Commodore and the Amiga and that, are really good.
I don't think I've ever really played them, to be honest.
The Commodore version is, I was watching a long play a while back, so I'm sad like that, and it's got just about everything of the arcade. I mean, you fight 2 chain mans on level 10 and that. It's got all 8 enemy types.
Why we're fighting burnos on the blue carpet?
That's instead of the earbars for some reason. Don't know why you don't have earbar now. You've literally fought 1 and that's it.
Maybe you couldn't handle 2 earbars. Maybe the sprite was just too detailed.
Too long, I know. They kind of get too on, because beside the end of that they like do a earball junior who only has half a head.
Do you reckon he's a relative of Ant McPartlin?
Sorry if you're watching that. Sorry. I hope you're a subscriber. Please don't unsubscribe. You might win the prize.
He might have been one of the successful Steam Key competition applicants.
There's another surprising enemy who pops up on the carpet who isn't normally in the arcade game. Interesting enough, in the arcade, all the standard enemies disappear after level 3. Like standard enemies, as in like Roper, Williams, Linda. Don't see them again.
Right.
Not like middle bosses or boss enemies, you know. I mean, we fought a Williams, outplaced Williams on.
Aye.
Oh, sorry, no, I'm wrong. No, I've just lied to you.
It was at the end of the last bit. Like the last.
I'm trying to think. I think there is 2 Williams at the start of level. Oh, there is, man. There's Williams at the top of the previous level
where the Powerball was,
and then there's 2 Williams downstairs here at the start, isn't there? Because you know when you come down the ladder, there's 2 Williams there. Then and the 2 burn-offs come out as well. So I've just lied to you. So I do apologise. But
I'm lost. Are you talking about this version of the arcade?
The arcade now.
Ah, yeah.
Yeah. But there's not many enemies. It's mostly like, you know, these
big guys
in the eye. There's a lone Jeff. There's a lone Jeff pops up and on. He's like the toughest. He's got the most health in the game, I think.
Yeah.
Now Jeff isn't in this one.
Big Jeff.
Little Jeff.
Well, you know, he's Big Jeff.
Big Jeff.
Do you like the balcony? I love how it just like pasted it in like they did with the cow field.
I like the nice curtain.
These drapes. He's got lovely drapes. Carl put them in there.
Carl from Terminator. Yeah. Dark Fate. I think he did. Well, he must have done because he's in the game.
He is. Yeah,
well, he was in the game until we killed him, so he must have done it during his, like, you know, before we got like smashed into the floor by our kicks and elbows, and our spinning, weird-looking whirling kicks.
I'm sitting here taking the piss out of like the graphic stuff, but I mean, to be fair, it was a hell of an attempt, wasn't it?
Well, the thing is, as well, it's you've got a great soundtrack. That's, I mean, there's about 5 or 6 tunes in the game. There's even a different tune for the final boss. I mean,
the level 1's track, though, isn't
it? No. There's a different. This is level 1 now. This is repeated, yeah. But there's a unique tune even for the for Bimmy and Jammy, and it's different from the arcade. It's good. You know, it's like, whoa, this is cool as well. But arguably better than the arcade.
I reckon I'm probably going to remember it.
It's quite creepy. It's like better than like the tune used on the like NES and arcade version.
It's not better than the Shadow Master tune, though.
The Shadow
Warrior.
Oh no, that's I thought you talked about Double Dragon 5 there, which is a game we'll probably not be doing a video of.
Head to head.
We'll do a head to head one day if you want it. If you suggested. If you want to pull us through it. If you put me through that, mind, you're definitely getting put through Double Dragon Rise Arcade, like.
It's fine. Rise Arcade's on the list.
Yes, Rise Arcade 2. We'll be the first.
I'm going to let me little 6-year-old girl play it against you.
Yeah, she'll be the first to play with these, didn't she? She hadn't any trouble at all. Gets harder, man. Unless you play as the Crusher. Unless you play as Crusher, like, you know, just hit everything from about 35 feet away.
Oh, he's got long spindly arms.
Nice try. Just kind of do nothing.
Look at what are you doing? Back flipping away, just come and fight us. I'm going to flip at you now. Flip.
But another good thing here, though, mate. I mean, it's kind of faithful to the enemy placement and all. I mean, you know, about pretty cock on.
Well, I don't know why you would make it any different.
Well,
why break it when it's already a mold?
That's the weird thing. I mean, we won't mention the NES because that's not fair. I mean, the NES is its own beast, you know, and it's done great, you know, as it is. But like other computer versions, I mean, obviously the 16-bit versions are pretty much cock on, as they should be. But you know, like again, I know is it okay to say the Spectrum and Amstrad because they've just literally not got those enemies in there. But with Double Dragon 1, I mean, Double Dragon 1 on the Commodore. I mean, yeah, there was a couple of times where you fought the Bobos where you should do, but level 1 has none. It's like, why would you not? I mean, even if you don't have the Abobo coming out the wall, why wouldn't you?
Why wouldn't you have the Abobo
one at the end? At the end of the level.
You know, Double Dragon 1 is everybody knows Double Dragon because I've got the arse handed them with that buy that Abobo in the middle of the level. First time they played it.
Yeah, if you'd never played it, I mean, it happened to me. I remember.
Like, oh, there he is.
Little boss Willie. Well,
I want to hear him shoot us. What's up, Doc?
You love him, didn't you?
Where's his teeth? I can't see them.
Has he got teeth?
I thought he had big buck teeth.
White teeth? Big white teeth? Big white teeth.
I remember having like big buck teeth.
I think.
Maybe it was because they're not.
But at least he spun fires. I mean, again, on the Commodore, it doesn't.
Is that what it does? It sounds like it makes it.
It doesn't fire. He's tall though in this one. He's a big guy. He's a big lad in this one. And, you know, but he's there, and that's nice. And he doesn't die in one hit like on the Amstrad and that, so, and he's not green like he is on the Amstrad for some fucking reason.
No, he's brown on this one.
He's not. He's red. He's quite red.
That's not brown. That's not red.
That's red.
That's like a lighter shade of brown.
A lighter shade of brown? Lighter shade of pale?
My pants are red. Look.
Well, that means you're no, he's the same colour as you.
Oh, he is actually.
There you go. Are you colourblind?
My pants are brown. Like light brown.
Your pants are brown.
These drapes are red.
Those
drapes are red. Look. See?
They're slightly different. No, they have a brownie red. They're brownie red while he's red rum. What, I'm beating him.
I'm not going to argue over the colour of drapes.
I've got
I'll win.
Oh, I'm not. What is this? The carpet battle?
You killed us both.
I know. Oh, right. Sample laughter even. Sample laughter wasn't in the arcade game. Not in the arcade game.
Oh,
You
well,
creep
down,
by
yeah.
the music. This is so cool. I mean, they couldn't even be asked to do this on the Amiga version. You know what happened? It just appeared.
Oh yeah, I
Just
remember
no-
that.
yeah, and
they disappear as quick as they appear. Kill them, get fast.
don't remember slowing down like that, like. But Mark, they don't even have the disappear in the ground move.
Which one's the enemy?
They throw fire lightning bolts at you, and they like fight like Jeff. They're basically Jeff with lightning bolts. So
I want to fight the blue one.
you always fight two. So in one player, both of them appear. Yeah.
Right.
And they sort of like move together. So
Oh, shit.
I mean, these actually fight the way they should. They fight like I said though, but they're more bimmy and jammy than sort of like the double illusion, aren't they? You know.
Ah, yeah.
The colours, they should be purple, you know. But at least they were bothered to like. Put them in
Well,
unique.
they couldn't because somebody else got purple. Glenn. your
Oh,
band.
well, there's that. But then you have to ask why was that purple in the first place. But then the background's purple as well, isn't it? So there might be a little bit too much purple.
Well, it's the colour palette. Obviously, they couldn't do like red,
purple, red.
blue, and purple and whatnot. Especially probably for the first level where the colour palette was already there, and I had to just use something that already was in memory, basically.
Well, I guess so. But like I say, they're in the game and they're kind of sort of faithful to the arcade version. The Specking and Amstrad tape version. Oh, sorry. In fact, I love going around. The Amstrad disc version. Bear in mind, I've just already said that it's a really good game with loads of the original content. Doesn't have these.
Isn't it?
So you beat Willie and it's game over. So for some reason, even I'm pretty sure in the Double Dragon 1 Amstrad disc version, you can fight each other at the end.
Yeah.
I think that's there. Can't remember exactly.
Oh,
so
right.
I mean that's almost like a hidden boss fight if you want to call it that. Mark's got experience with that, haven't you?
What?
But you know, not having these is just like not putting the final boss in. So not on any Spectrum version, not on any Amstrad, not on the MSX version. Every other version's got it though.
Come and fight me instead of.
We will be doing the NES version one day at some point as well.
yeah.
It's absolutely on the table.
We've got a plan. We're just scared of dying and we don't want to cheat.
Yeah, we don't really want to cheat. We
been too
weren't
long.
able to do it. We have done it several times, but there is a couple of parts where you've really got to cooperate, or you'll lose lives really quick. Like so, I mean, generally the game's pretty easy. It's fun. I tell you one game I've done.
Yeah.
I never find myself playing on, mate. That'd be Double Dragon 3 on the NES.
I've had requests and all.
Have you?
Aye.
You never said.
I have, but it's so damn hard. Look, I won.
Oh, you did. You did.
Who's got the highest score? I didn't see.
What's the ending? We've even got the ending.
It said
like, what
the
it's got-
end.
Yeah, it says the end. Yeah, it's got actual speech again, you know. But Double Dragon 3, it's you have to play it one particular way, and if you just don't, and if you do your own thing, you'll just die, unless you put the codes, which we could do. 'Cause it is a hard game. Like that's a hard game to play.
I would say we're cheating on that one.
I would. Well, we'll enjoy it as well because you won't
That's it,
enjoy
yeah,
it if you.
that's it.
Because you've got you can't be wasting your special moves. If you just use them on regular enemies, you'll never beat the bosses. And you have to use certain enemies, certain characters on certain bosses. And if you just don't bother doing that, because you lose as you lose your team, you don't get them back. You know. So if you lose, like for instance, the little Chinese guy, he has a claw which can kill enemies in like 5 hits and that.
He's good in it. What's his name?
Chintai. It's one that's meant to be Chintai's brother. It's actually got sample space sample.
And some sampled piano.
It's just great though. But I mean, you know, you've got the arcade ending in there. Doesn't show you the credits in the arcade version either.
Look at you. You look like you've got like a strange round head.
Why have you got a daft mullet?
Nah, it's not daft. It's cool. Look.
It's not, man. You look like Pat Sharp, but like crossed with Elephant Man.
Look, graphics are glitched.
My head's
oh.
lovely.
It finally crashed it right at the end.
Don't remember that happening in our version.
Oh, what happened?
But you've seen everything there is to see. I don't think there's a. Oh, is there a high score table? Can't remember the name.
I don't know, but I'll be top of it if there is.
But you will.
Yes. We should hold on and find out.
All right, it'll just blow up. It's just
I think it's gone, I think it's dead. This is what happens when you play computer games at a 25-year-old. Typically, they used to crash at some point. But what would happen, you'd spend half an hour loading it in from a tape, and then you'd play the first few minutes and it would crash, you'd have to load it all again.
This is 35-year-old. This is
35 years old. I'm saying
35-year-old, yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking 1999.
Oh, it's sort of reforming. And what would you do if it reforms it to something else, like...
Double Dragon 3.
Aye, I was going to say, it shows you the Cleopatra laughing at us or something, or Shin Tai with his arse out. No, best not there. Like little fat Shin Tai though, not the cool one from Double Dragon on the NES, with these sticks and stuff, you know.
Yeah,
So he's got like a saggy sort of like, he's got an arse a bit like Sipowicz out of, that cop show that used to be on America. Dennis Franz, anyway, he's like one of the arseholes in Die Hard 2. Another one who tells him you've got to lead in your arsehole or something. Oh,
Please type in your name.
who's player one though?
I need a keyboard for this. Me. Sir.
Still doesn't beat that bit where I kill you and Billy at the same time though.
Check and enter, it'll crash it. Oh, not work. Player 2.
Oh,
Put your name in.
I'm in. Right, just put out what you want in, pal.
There we go. Oh, where's that? Oh, high score table. Wait there, I think I know how to get it. There. I win! Yes! Another one to me. And on that,
you can have it. You know, you need it.
and then on that glorious victory, let's call it a night, mate.
If you want to see any more computer versions of games, like, because they're more obscure, and some of these were like mostly like released in the UK and Europe, you know, I mean, Double Dragon 2 and the Commodore did get a US release, but it just, you know, they're still fairly obscure and old. But if there's people out there who want to see them played poorly, not by Mark, of course, because you're number one,
Best. Number one.
Just give us a shout and you know, give us a like.
Drop us a comment and we'll try and put something together for you, okay? But as always, thanks again for watching, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Take care, and we'll see you next game.
Take care.
Bye now.